Leave her alone, or I'll make this count." The voice sounded too small to stop anything, yet it cut the alley like a whistle. Vivian Stone felt brick bite her shoulder as a thick palm pinned her in place. The Marble and Oak Hotel still glowed at the block's end. The gala laughter had thinned to the clink of glasses and the hush that follows generosity. Here, behind the loading bay, rain made the asphalt shine like oil. 3 men, one at her shoulder, one rifling her clutch, one posted as lookout. "Watch first," the lookout said, then the bag. Vivian kept her tone low, and even the way she spoke to venture partners right before they blinked. "Take it. I'm not going to fight you." "That's good." The big one grinned because we enjoy cooperation. The small voice again, firmer now. "Last warning." They turned. A girl no taller than a trash bin stood at the alley mouth. She wore a coat 2 big sneakers too thin, and a stare too steady for 8 years old. In her hand, a scuffed rubber ball. Behind her, a man in a navy work shirt stepped forward, one forearm across her without touching guardrail and permission at once. "Kid," the lookout called, smiling with all the wrong teeth. "This isn't recess." The man spoke without raising his voice. "Maya." "I know," she said. "When it matters." She set her feet like someone had taught her how to aim, turned her shoulder, and the ball left her fingers with a clean, unfussy snap. It struck the wrist of the man holding Vivian right on the tendon. Pain travels fast. He yelped and let go. The clutch dropped, spilling lipstick and a folded program into a rain pool. "Get her!" The lookout barked. He lunged, but the workshirt man moved first, not like a brawler, like a janitor who knew every hinge and lever in a building. He yanked down the rattling security gate enough to funnel the alley and stole the big men's space. Maya's second throw blurred past his shoulder and clapped against a cheekbone. The lookout reeled, hand-to-face language suddenly small. 2 shadows peeled from the edges, kids maybe 6 in all, appearing from a fire escape and behind a scooter. They weren't carrying knives. They held balls, rubber tennis, a faded red dodgeball with a bite taken out of the foam. Their faces were singed with focus the way faces look when they've practiced until games turn into habits. For Maya, a boy called, and the volley began. It was not elegant. It didn't need to be. One ball thumped a throat, another slapped an ear, one ricocheted off a knee and spun under a dumpster. The biggest man charged and caught a front wheel of the scooter on his shin. Gravity did the old reliable thing. Vivian's body wanted to freeze. Her mind did what she trained it to do: speak clearly, move toward light. She backed to the bricks, dialed with shaking fingers, and said to 911, "Assault 3 adult males, East Alley behind Marble and Oak. Non-lethal. Send officers and EMS." The lookout lunged again. The workshirt man turned him with a shoulder and sent him into the half-lowered gate, redirect, not strike. Air left the man like a secret. The third attacker cursed, looked at the children, looked at Vivian's phone, and decided the night no longer loved him. Sirens started as a rumble and found their color at the far end of the street. "Scatter," Maya said. They did over a fence up the grate into the dark slit of a service door. Not fear, rehearsal. Vivian looked at the girl who had rearranged the night. Rain slicked stray hairs to her forehead. Her chest rose and fell. The ball sat again in her palm as if it had never left. "You okay, ma'am?" the man asked. He was a few years from 40, with a face that had known both hope and overtime. "Yes," Vivian answered. "Thanks to you." To her, he said. The squad car nosed into the alley lights, washing the brick in emergency blue. 2 officers stepped out, hands cautious, hands where we can see 'em. Vivian lifted hers. The man did, too. Maya raised both arms without dropping the ball. "Lose the ball," the older officer said. Maya didn't. "She's a child," Vivian said. "She threw rubber. That's all." "What happened?" the younger one asked. "They cornered me," Vivian said, finding the exactness that always calmed a room. "These 2 men," she pointed, "attempted to take my watch and bag. She indicated the workshirt man prevented flight and kept things from escalating. The children defended at range. I called you. The officers measured her then, him, then the groaning men on the ground." Name's Vivian Stone, she said, too tired to disguise herself. The younger cop's eyebrows flicked. Not awe recognition. And you, Sir Jack Carter. And you kid Maya, the girl said. Steady, then added like a fact learned in school with an A. EMS slid into the scene, all gloves and headlamps. The big man's nose bled. The medic worked with professional boredom. Vivian noticed a scrape on her own elbow only when antiseptic bit it. Lucky, the medic murmured. Could have gone sideways. Luck follows practice, Jack said without looking up. You teach her to throw. The younger officer asked. Jack's mouth tugged. I teach her when to throw. Did we do wrong? Maya asked. Not trembling checking. You saved me, Vivian said. That's the simplest truth. The older cop gestured to the attackers. You pressing charges, Ms. Stone? Vivian looked at the men. Rage arrived quick and hot, then cooled into something colder and sharper. Yes, she said. On the assault. I'll sign your report. And I'd prefer no press. Statements took shape. Numbers were exchanged. The alley's volume dropped until only Rain spoke. Jack shifted his weight, ready to exit a scene he hadn't planned to enter. Say good night, Maya, he said. Good night, Maya told Vivian. She kept the ball in her palm as if it were both talisman and tool. Wait, Vivian said. They waited. Words from her world lined up the ones that offered cards and calendars, and all of them felt wrong in this narrow place that had required courage, not contacts. She tried plain instead. There's a field behind Roosevelt Elementary, isn't there? Jack's eyes flicked in surprise. It's something like a field. I'd like to see it, she said. Saturday morning. He studied her the way men study doors for hinges, for locks, for how many times they've been opened and slammed. Why? Because places tell the truth, she answered. I'd like to hear it from the ground. Maya lifted the ball an inch. 8 o'clock, she said, as if assigning homework. Jack exhaled a breath that might have been a laugh and might have been permission. 8, he said. They moved toward the street. Sirens faded. Vivian felt the tremble leaving her muscles as the moment let go. Miss 8 Stone, the younger cop, said, returning with a clipboard. Signature here, and a number for follow-up. She signed her real number. If the night taught anything, it was the cost of distance. Something tapped her shoe. She glanced down. The rubber ball. You dropped this, Maya said from a few steps away. Vivian hadn't, but she picked it up. It was heavier than childhood. The seam fit the pad of her thumb like a groove in a familiar desk. It's yours, she said. Keep it till Saturday, Maya answered. It helps you remember. Remember what timing. The word landed like a key in a lock. Jack touched 2 fingers to his temple, thanks that wasn't servile respect, that wasn't performance. They crossed through the blue wash of police lights and became 2 ordinary figures on a city sidewalk, one tall, one small, both walking like they knew where they were going. Vivian stayed. Rain stitched the air. She stared at the ball until the alley sharpened around it, the wet brick, the bent gate, the scooter with the brave wheel. Her elbow stung. Her heart did something she hadn't felt in years. It asked for more of the world, not less. At the alley's end, she paused and glanced back, not for nostalgia. She had no fondness for fear, but for the geometry of moments. This one had edges she could use. If she closed her eyes, she could still see the small figure at the entrance, the ball, a dark moon in a small palm, the sentence that opened the scene, "Leave her alone, or I'll make this count." Vivian tapped the ball against her hip, a soft metronome. "Throw when it matters," she said to the night, testing the words the way a musician tests a room. They rang true. The rain agreed. Somewhere down the block, a child laughed, light, unafraid, and the city felt less like a machine and more like a place you could choose on purpose. "You came back," Maya said, the rubber ball already nested in her palm like a promise she meant to keep. Saturday morning held the neighborhood in a soft grip, laundry lines tilting over alleys, a bus sighing at the corner, a church bell measuring time without asking anyone's permission. The lot behind Roosevelt Elementary sat between two low brick buildings. From a distance, it